Most self-help advice suggests that if you simply close your eyes and visualize your goals, the path to achieving them will reveal itself. Yet for most people, this mental exercise rarely translates into a change in their physical reality. The problem lies in the biological state of the brain attempting the visualization. In our daily lives, the brain is often stuck in a rigid, noisy baseline, preoccupied with survival and low-level stress. This rigidity is reinforced by screen apnea, a common habit where we hold our breath in shallow, irregular patterns while focusing on emails or scrolling. These pauses are unintentional and keep the brain in a state of constant, low-grade depletion. When the brain is locked in this stressed chemical state, it lacks the plasticity required to wire new pathways. Attempting to visualize success here is like trying to write code on a computer that's already frozen. To move past this baseline, you have to utilize a physiological mechanism that can shift the brain's internal environment by force. Ancient wisdom identified this mechanism as Kumbhaka, the practice of conscious, structured breath retention. This is distinct from standard calming breathwork. It is a deliberate modulation of the body's gas exchange, designed to interface directly with brain performance. By changing the rhythm and duration of the breath, you manipulate the signals sent to the brain's chemoreceptors, creating a window for structural change. By altering the blood's chemical composition through controlled retention, you begin the process of physically reshuffling the brain's neural priorities. The process begins with a full inhalation, held for 10 seconds. As you hold, carbon dioxide levels in the bloodstream begin to rise steadily. This accumulation acts as a signal. As the CO2 builds, the blood's pH level shifts, which is immediately detected by the brain's regulatory sensors. Recognizing this shift, the brain triggers vasodilation. Blood vessels expand, allowing a massive gush of oxygenated blood to reach distal brain tissue, helping identify and remove cellular debris. Over time, this initiates apoptosis, clearing old, non-functional cells. Simultaneously, the physical pressure within the chest creates a suction effect, pulling fluid through the lymphatic system, flushing metabolic waste out of the brain's environment. This 10-second hold effectively clears the biological slate, reducing the noise of the old system to make room for new growth. Following this clearing, the brain exists in a temporary state of high oxygenation and enhanced blood flow. This chemical shift sends a signal to trigger neurogenesis. While new neuron growth is gradual, the breath hold primes the biological environment for these new cells to take root. As the brain prepares for this growth, your subjective experience changes. Distractions and peripheral noise fade away, and your field of attention narrows. The usual haze of brain fog is replaced by a state of intense, laser-like focus. In this moment, the brain is at its most plastic, structurally receptive to new patterns, and ready for a specific set of instructions. It is during this height of plasticity, at the peak of the breath hold, that visualization finally gains its power. This is neuromanifestation, the act of using a concentrated thought to direct the path of the brain's new connections. By holding a specific image of your goal in mind while the brain is in this primed state, you provide the architectural coordinates for the newly emerging neural circuitry. The intensity of the focus during Kumbhaka sends that image into the prefrontal cortex. It instructs the brain to route its new resources toward the specific neural patterns associated with that goal. Through this practice, you are physically reinforcing the neural framework required to execute the actions of your future self. Visualization becomes the final structural layer in a process of reconstruction that began with the simple act of breathing. To achieve a lasting shift in these neurological pathways, the practice requires a consistent daily routine. Start by inhaling deeply for 10 seconds. Hold the breath and visualize your goal with absolute clarity, allowing the image to sink into the plastic state of your brain. Next, exhale fully and hold the lungs empty for another 10 seconds, keeping your attention locked on to that single visualization. Repeat this 5 times daily for 21 days. This repetition is what ensures the temporary biological signals translate into permanent neural architecture. Reaching an impossible goal is not a matter of wishing. It is the result of using your physiology to rebuild the mind that will achieve it.